Alright, what's up guys? Back out here. I just want to go over a checklist with you guys real quick. Leave down in the comments what you guys think. I definitely noticed when I was editing that I have this boost / vacuum leak right here. I forgot to plug in my boost gauge. So this inside the car is just a massive, well, it's not even that big, but it's a vacuum / boost leak for sure. I'll plug in my gauge here in a second. A few of you guys said that the ignition control module, you guys remember how I painted that bracket? Some of you guys were telling me that I shouldn't have painted that. I don't know why you guys waited till now. That thing's probably not grounded out. If it wasn't grounded out, I wouldn't have any spark at all, right? That controls the spark. So I think that's fine. I mean, that's the last resort, I guess. Tear everything down, get that bracket back off, and sand it down. But I don't think that's my problem because I want to have spark anywhere, and I definitely have spark. I definitely could be running out of fuel, but I got such a small fuel leak, I don't think that's what it is. But, I mean, it could be that. I'm going to plug in that vacuum line. I went around and checked all my boots. I missed a couple over here. I might have had a massive boost leak over here. I forgot to tighten this one right here, but it still should have been able to idle. I don't know. I still honestly don't understand why it won't idle. Even if it had a massive vacuum leak, it would still like just idle like shit. I checked all my connections. I got a timing light. I just got a cheap one. It should at least let me know if I got this at 180, which a couple of you guys said that this might have been put back on at 180. Let me hook this boost gauge up and try to start this thing again. Okay, I went over everything. Got the batteries all hooked up. Got this cheap ass timing light hooked up. Oh, and I also, where's my light? I don't really know how this car uses its sport and touring button. You know what I mean? You got this button over here. It's like sport and touring. I'm pretty sure that this controls the wing and aero and suspension on this car. But just in case it does have anything to do with the ECU, I plugged that back in. Now it's not getting nothing. What the fuck? Now it's even worse. I hook everything up and it doesn't even want to start. I really don't know. Dude, what is different? There's nothing different. I haven't changed anything since the last time I was out here. Now I can't even get it to turn over. What is different? Nothing's different. I haven't been out here. I left after I turned the car off. And this is my first time back out here. Now it won't even turn over. Alright, I sprayed some starter fluid in there. If it's getting spark, it should start. I don't think it's getting spark anymore. I don't know what would have changed. What changed that it's not getting spark now? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a video out for you guys Monday. I have nothing else to do but sit here and try to do this. I doubt this is going to be done by Monday. I just sprayed a bunch of starter fluid in there. Took that vacuum line off and sprayed it in there so it went right into the throttle body. Didn't have to go through the turbos. Alright, I'll bring it back. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It should start with starter fluid. So obviously it's not getting spark. I'm just gonna start taking shit back apart. Start sanding some of these brackets off, make sure everything's grounded good. I don't know why I'm not getting any spark now. I'm definitely not getting spark. Even if I wasn't getting fuel, it would have started with the starter fluid, at least turned over. I don't know how it was running the other day, and now all of a sudden it's getting no spark at all. I haven't touched anything. Like I said, I'm gonna take this side back apart. Look at all these connections. Okay, I got the whole coil pack thing off. I'm gonna take these back off. I'm gonna sand everything under them, So it's metal on metal there, in between there. I'm gonna sand off everywhere it touches the block, and hopefully that'll give me something. And I'm also gonna take off the control module. I haven't really been recording, I'm sorry. This is when you start screwing shit up, is when you start rushing. When you have to go backwards to fix something, you start rushing, and that's when you scratch shit. So I'm just trying to take my time. I'm also gonna take that whole plate off right here. And I sanded off under it, because I figured that was a heat soak. But one of you said that it has to be grounded. So I think I'm just gonna sand that back down to bare metal. You don't see it. It's gonna rust though, is what's gonna suck. But I think that's what I'm gonna do. Sand that all down to bare metal, and like I said, I'm gonna sand this down. I'm only gonna sand the contact points though, because you do see this. But if you buy this new, it is bare metal. So I'm gonna sand down everything behind these coils so the coils are grounded, and then I'm gonna sand down every contact point to the block. I might need to put a couple more grounds on here. If you guys remember, when I first got this car, they obviously had a grounding problem, because there was grounds everywhere. They had grounds from the transmission to the subframe, from the subframe to the body, from the battery to the transmission, from the battery to the subframe to the battery to the body, and then all over there too. Then they also had a ground from the intake to the body, and a ground from the block to that side of the subframe. They had grounds everywhere. I pulled off like 10 grounds off this car when I took it apart. I don't know, maybe you actually need all those grounds. It started though, so it's driving me nuts. It was running, it wasn't idling right, but it started. Now all of a sudden it's not going to. I took these all off, and I just sanded. You can see down in there, kind of. I just pretty much sanded anywhere they touched. I cleaned out all the threads of the paint, cleaned that out of paint. So anywhere that touches the block, anywhere that's screwed to anything, is grounded now. And now I'm gonna take this control module off, sand that down. Well, this turbo banjo bolt is broke, so there's that. You guys remember how I had to have the rear turbo sent back and redo the threads? You know, they told me to probably send the front one too. And I was like, oh, it's already on, and I'm pretty sure I got it on tight. Well, I just seen that it was leaking a little bit, and all I did was touch it, and it just broke off. So now I'm pretty much draining this engine of antifreeze that I filled up for no fucking reason. Yeah, dude, it just gets to a point where it gets tight and then becomes loose again. Should have sent this back when I had the engine out the car. Yeah, dude, it's doing the same shit the back one was doing, where you get it tight and it just becomes loose again. Should have just left it alone. Seen that it was dripping. Should have just put it back together and worried about it later. Yeah, see, now it's completely loose. Let me drain this antifreeze, I'll bring it back. I love antifreeze baths, right? Who doesn't? Oh my god, I cannot believe I'm taking this front turbo back off. Should've just did it when the engine was out of the car. I was like, oh no. Those ones like went on fine. They tightened up good, I torqued them down. That back one was barely dripping, and I went to go do a little crank on it, and it snapped loose. There was like a couple drops of antifreeze. I should've just left it alone and worried about it later. Could have had this whole thing running, tuned, and everything good, and then took it back apart to fix that leak, and then I would have broke it then, and then I could have sent it off and had it fixed. I feel like I'm starting over. This sucks so bad. Alright, I got the radiator out. Turbo's got to come off. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't get it even snug to where it won't leak at all anymore. So, it is what it is. It's just going to make a mess. Got rags trying to stop it from going to the drain. I don't have any floor dry. I got most of it in buckets, but I ran out of floor dry. Just wasted 3 gallons of antifreeze that was in there for 2 days, and a whole box of rags pretty much. I don't know how much you guys care. I'm gonna get this off. You guys see me struggle with this multiple times. It's not fun. I gotta get like this back bracket and this down pipe off at the same time. It sucks so bad. Alright guys, this is probably the end of the video. I mean, I don't want it to be, but there really isn't any, I can't run this. There's really nothing else I can do until I get this turbo back. Should've just let them take it. But alright, I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully the turbo's back in a couple days. And with everything ground down, I sanded down everything. Like I talked about earlier. Even where it bolts to the head. Like the heads themselves, you know, they painted them at the engine builder. So I sanded them all down. All the contacts should be grounded. See if I can get spark. It's a bummer, but whatever. Just keep on keeping on. See you in the next one.